All right, y'all, welcome to the show. We have a tremendous amount to dive into today. So in just a second, Trump is illegally deploying troops to Yemen. He has escalated now multiple times, and nobody's talking about it. So we're going to dive into that. We also have some new polls that absolutely spell doom for the regime. I mean, we're literally setting records now. We are setting records with how unpopular he is at this point in time in his administration. Then we also have hundreds of experts have now come out and said the United States is indeed turning fascist right in front of our eyes. We have Fox News clutching their pearls over a fuck Israel sign that was at Coachella. Then we got to dive into, this stuff is heavy, but Trump is killing a rule that protects kids from toxic chemicals. The deregulation is out of control. The pollution is out of control. He is green lighting all of that. We'll get to the banning of any federal funds going to research done at universities that criticize Israel. Every day it's a new horror. And then also the 60 Minutes producer resigned. And this is a huge story because of the reason why he did, why he felt like he had to. And then Andrew Schultz decides to go full dipshit and explain to everybody why he's now pro-Trump and a Republican. So we have a lot of stuff to get into. Everybody do me a big favor. Please click like, click subscribe, all that fun stuff. Click that bell icon so you get a notification every single time a video drops. Show my boy Corin some love. Go subscribe to the Corin's World YouTube channel where we're posting Kyle and Corin episodes. We haven't missed a week since we started posting it on his show, so go subscribe to Corin's World. I haven't checked, but I know he was close to 10,000 subs, so he'll probably be super happy once he gets over that 10,000 subs number. And yeah, much love to all you who support the show on Patreon. Couldn't do it without you. This is real independent media. You could also tip with that thanks button on YouTube if you're so inclined. I've never talked to an advertiser. I'm very proud of that fact. And with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into it. So let's start with this, man. For the life of me, I can't figure out why nobody is talking about this. To me, this is a bigger scandal than the Signalgate scandal. Now, you all remember Signalgate. You had Pete Hegseth and Mike Waltz and all these idiots at the top of the Trump administration. They were sending very highly classified, top secret information about literal war plans to this group chat, and the group chat consisted of a journalist that they accidentally invited in. And so that was a huge deal because it shows how incompetent they are. It shows how willy-nilly they are with super important information that shouldn't be able to get out. This is a field day for foreign spies trying to get information out of the United States. Everybody knows that. We've now had a Signalgate 2 scandal where you still have Pete Hegseth sending stuff to group chats involving his wife and his brother. And I mean, it's a hellscape, bro. But at the same time, to me, the core of the scandal is actually just what they're doing in the Middle East. Half the time Trump campaigned, it was, I'm anti-war, Kamala's a warmonger, Liz Cheney's a warmonger. You guys remember all this stuff. Well, now that he's in office, nobody has ever in modern American history been a bigger warmonger than Donald Trump. So look at this. Trump announces deployment of U.S. forces to Middle East without congressional approval. Trump campaigned on ending endless wars, but now commits U.S. forces to large-scale operations in Yemen. According to an announcement posted to the White House webpage, Trump has formally notified Congress that he has deployed additional combat-equipped U.S. forces to the Middle East and launched large-scale military strikes in Yemen, targeting Houthi militants. In a letter sent to both House Speaker Mike Johnson and Senate President pro tempore Charles Grassley, Trump described the Houthis as a band of pirates who have attacked U.S. forces and commercial vessels in the Red Sea. The letter outlines a two-pronged response. First, a buildup of U.S. military assets in the region, that probably also has to do with Iran, by the way, including air and missile defense units, fighter aircraft, and reconnaissance platforms. And second, an ongoing campaign of strikes by U.S. Navy and Air Force units against Houthi infrastructure and leadership in Yemen. The move represents a dramatic departure from Trump's long-standing pledge to end what he calls endless wars. While the president framed the action as defensive and necessary to protect American lives and global commerce, the operation marks the most significant escalation of U.S. military force in the region since his return to office. With the open-ended nature of this mission, the absence of congressional authorization beyond a War Powers Resolution notification, and no clear timeline for withdrawal or cessation of hostilities, the administration may face scrutiny over the scope and objectives of this military engagement. Many people voted for Trump, hoping that American involvement in sending troops to the Middle East was over, but Trump is now doing just that. So understand something. We got news recently. in Yemen, they are successful and responsible for shooting down 6 U.S. Reaper drones. So, in other words, the Houthis are fighting back and they're having successes. So my guess is, if I had to speculate on this, what I would say is that information got to Trump, that actually the Houthis are fighting back, and actually it's kind of successful, and actually they're taking out our drones, these drones that cost millions and millions and millions of dollars. They're shooting them right out of the sky, and they're having victories. And Trump heard that, and in classic Trump reactionary, impulsive fashion, he goes, okay, well, I guess it's time then, isn't it? I guess we need to double down on this and triple down on this and send more planes and send more drones and send more U.S. military personnel. And so now he's recommitting and upping the level of U.S. involvement in Yemen. Now remember, the core of this is what? Yemen came out and said, Israel's doing a genocide in Gaza, which is true. It's factual. And nobody's helping them. And the UN is, virtually every country except the US and Israel are all saying the right thing, saying this has to stop, saying we need a diplomatic resolution, but nobody's actually stopping anything. And so what the Houthis in Yemen said is, we're going to do a blockade to try to make sure that ships don't get to Israel. We want to effectively embargo them. We want to sanction them. Let's make sure they don't get the tools that they need. They don't get the military equipment that they need. Let's try to apply some semblance of economic pressure on them to stop the massacre of innocent people in Gaza. And guess what? When we had a temporary ceasefire, the Houthis stopped because they said, okay, there's no more fighting going on. There's no more purpose for us to do this. So instead of having Trump cut off the money and the weapons to Israel and say, hey, you have to make a deal, instead of doing that, he's doing the exact opposite. He's saying, I know how to make the Houthis stop, but I don't care. And I'm just going to bomb them to smithereens. Now, we've also gotten horrific videos. The idea that they're just getting the Houthis is preposterous. We were just bombing a port the other day. We killed countless innocent civilians at a port. We've killed women and children. Hegseth admitted this in the group chat. That, we targeted a guy who we think is a Houthi. He went into an apartment building where his girlfriend is, and we leveled the whole apartment building. What? So you're killing massive numbers of civilians, majority civilians? And then they have the nerve to turn around. Everybody pretends like, why do they hate us, bro? I can't quite figure out why they hate us. Sure, we bombed their ports and killed innocent people. Sure, we bombed a giant apartment building and killed massive numbers of innocent people. Sure, we're carpet bombing them. But don't they know that we mean well and stuff, bro, when we kill their innocent people? And now Trump looks at all this and goes, let's escalate. Again, even though the way to get them to stop is so straightforward. The way to get them to stop is, hey, Israel, cut it out. No more money, no more weapons. Let's make a deal. Let's get it over with. Instead, what? Trump did a fake ceasefire early on, and with a wink and a nod to Netanyahu saying, you go back to doing whatever the fuck you want to do. And now he's arming them and funding them as they are finishing the genocide and the ethnic cleansing. And Trump openly is talking about, we're going to take over Gaza. The U.S. is going to own Gaza. So, again, for the life of me, it drives me crazy. I can't figure out why nobody's talking about this. The area where I'm probably most frustrated with the Democrats, and to be fair, the Democrats have stepped up in many respects with their resistance, but one area where I don't see anywhere near the amount of resistance that we need is on his foreign policy. I mean, this guy is a demon. He's talking about invading Greenland, warmongering with Denmark, warmongering with Canada, wanting to make them the 51st state, saying he's going to take more of their territory if they don't agree, take away some of their water rights if they don't agree. He's warmongering with Mexico and Panama and bombing Yemen and bombing Somalia and saying we're going to own Gaza. To not talk about this is fucking unacceptable. It's unacceptable. The horrors are front and center. We know he's an absolute madman, a psychotic madman and a fascist, and he's a neocon on steroids. He's an old school 1800 style imperialist. And you're not talking about that? I mean, shit, he told Ukraine, in order to get continued help from the U.S., you need to give us 50% of everything from now until forever. 50% of your minerals, 50% of your ports, 50% of everything. So he wants to do it old school economic imperialism and colonialism and acts like this is totally fine, right? It's fine. We'll maintain our relationships with the rest of the world and launch a trade war against them and do actual wars against allies of ours, and it's totally fine. Everything will work out. To say 5 alarm fire is a massive underestimation of just how far gone this situation is. And now, yet again, a bigger war in Yemen, a forever war in Yemen, there's been zero weigh-in from the Congress when the way it's supposed to work is only Congress can declare war. Congress has to declare war. Instead, what they do is this bullshit now where everything is approved based off in Iraq war era authorization for the use of military force. This is from the war on terror, and they just put everything in that bucket, even if this has nothing to do with the war on terror. The Houthis never fucking attacked us. They never attacked us. The idea that they're a threat to us, what, are they going to bomb Cleveland? Shut the fuck up. Everybody knows that's not true. But they use all these bullshit rationales and legal justifications, and they fucking get away with it. And nobody's fighting back. Nobody's talking about it. This is an atrocity. Every bomb we drop on Yemen is a fucking war crime. Every single one. And so I hope the media wakes up and talks about this more. I hope the Democrats talk about it more. I hope you resist on this shit too, because this also has dire consequences, man. It really does. All you had to do to get the Houthis to stop blockading was to say, wrap it up, Israel. No more money, no more weapons. We are going to get a peace deal with the Palestinians. That's all you have to do. But they don't believe in that. Not even close. Because they truly are warmongers and imperialists, and everything they do proves that case. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.